Good afternoon, my dear children. Today in English, we will learn a new lesson. The name of our lesson is The Dreadful Guest. Once upon a time, the king of Russia decided to hold a grand feast. He invited princes, rich merchants, brave warriors, and all the important people in his kingdom. On the night of the feast, the king and his guests sat together at a long table in a banquet hall. They talked and laughed, and everyone was happy. Children, here we understand that once there was a king. He was the king of Russia, and he decided to hold a grand feast. Now, feast means a large meal for many people on a special occasion. It is like a party. So for the party, he invited princes, rich merchants, warriors, and all the important people in his kingdom. So on the night of the feast, all the guests and the king, they were sitting on a long table in a banquet hall. They were talking, laughing, and having fun. Everyone was happy. Suddenly, a huge animal burst into the hall. It was a horrible looking dragon. It was as tall as a tree, as broad as a house, with teeth like spikes and claws like knives. His skin was hard and scaly, and his eyes red. Red hot flames shot forth from his mouth and black smoke from his nostrils. Now, this dragon was also a very mean creature. He loved to be a spoil sport and a killjoy. Now, suddenly, when all the people were having fun in the banquet hall, a huge animal came into the hall. It was a horrible looking dragon. It was a very dangerous dragon. Now, as you know, dragons are huge creatures. So he was tall like a tree, broad as a house. So it was so huge. The teeth, he had teeth like spikes. Now, spikes means a narrow, thin shape with sharp point at one end. So his teeth were very sharp, and claws were also as sharp as knives. So he could easily kill someone. His skin was hard and scaly, like the skin of the crocodile, and his eyes were red. Red hot flames were coming out of his mouth. Dragons can blow fire from their mouth. So all the fire flames were coming out of his mouth, and black colored smoke was coming out of his nostrils. Now, dragons are a very mean creatures, means rude creatures, and they like to be a spoil sport. Spoil sport means a person who likes to spoil others' enjoyment. So he came there and he wanted to kill the happiness in the party. He wanted to kill everybody's enjoyment. He walked straight to the head of the table and pushed himself between the king and the queen. Everyone stopped talking. Everyone was scared. Well, not everyone. The brave warrior Ivan was not afraid of dragons. What a rude, impolite creature you are, he said angrily. Just then, the servants brought in the food and set the platters on the table. But before they had a chance to serve the food to the king and the queen and the guests, the dragon began to gobble up everything. The king and the queen did not know what to do. Nobody could stop the dragon, but Ivan spoke up again. Nobody has ever taught you any manners? I can see, he said. I hope you choke on the food you are gobbling up so greedily. So the dragon pushed himself between the king and the queen. Now, looking at this huge dragon, everybody sitting at the table were scared. Nobody had the courage to utter even a single word. But the brave warrior Ivan was not afraid of dragons. So he stood up and said angrily to the dragon, that you are such an impolite creature. Means you are not at all polite and you are very rude. And just then the servants came in and brought the food on the table. But before the servants could serve the food, the dragon began to gobble up everything. Gobble means to eat hurriedly and noisily, to make noise while eating. Looking at this, Ivan again spoke up. He again said to the dragon that nobody has ever taught you any manners. I can see that. I hope that you choke on the food. Choke means I hope that the food that you are eating gets stuck in your throat and you have difficulty in swallowing and breathing. Now, this was more than the dragon could stand. He puffed out fire and sprang to his feet. I dare you to come out and fight with me, Ivan. He roared. Are you ready? Of course, said Ivan. What have you done, Ivan? Said the king. Let's put up with the dragon for some other time. You cannot fight a dragon. It will burn and kill you in no time. But Ivan was not afraid. He knew that dragons were dreadful but not intelligent. He was sure he could find a way of killing the dragon. So, next, what happened? The dragon could not stand this insult because Ivan was continuously insulting him. So, he puffed out fire. Puffed means short amount of air or smoke blown out. And he sprang to his feet. That means he stood up quickly and he dared Ivan to come and fight with him. Now, listening to this, the king thought that it was a bad idea because the dragon was very big. Its teeth were sharp, it could blow out fire from his mouth, and its claws were also very sharp, so he could easily kill Ivan. But Ivan had the confidence that he could kill the dragon because dragons are dreadful creatures. Dreadful means causing or involving great suffering, fear, or unhappiness, extremely bad or serious. But dragons are not intelligent, so Ivan knew that he could find a way to kill the dragon. Everyone walked out to the palace courtyard. The dragon and the brave warrior faced each other. The dragon smiled a very mean and wicked smile. Now, how shall I kill you, you silly fool? He asked Ivan. Shall I burn you to death? Shall I smother you with fumes? Or shall I eat you up with my spiked teeth? In the meanwhile, however, the clever Ivan had thought of a way of tricking the wicked creature. He folded his arms on his chest and said in a clear voice, now look here, dragon. When you dared me to fight you, I agreed readily. I thought it would be a fight between just the two of us. Now everyone walked out of the palace in the courtyard, and both of them were ready to fight with each other. Now the dragon was very confident that he could kill Ivan easily. So he gave choice to Ivan that how should I kill you? Should I burn you to death with the fire that I blow, or should I smother you with my fumes? Smother means killing by suffocating. Or shall I eat you with my spike teeth? Spike means sharp teeth. So in the meanwhile, Ivan got an idea. He told the creature, that is the dragon, that we had decided to fight just the two of us, but why have you got an entire army behind you? Now there was no army behind the dragon, but this was the trick of Ivan to kill the dragon. Then he pointed behind the dragon. Why have you brought a whole army to help you fight? The dragon was as stupid as Ivan thought him to be. He turned his head to see what Ivan was pointing at. Quick as a flash of lightning, Ivan drew his sword and cut off the dragon's head. There, he said, he won't have to put up with this dreadful guest ever again. So, lastly, when Ivan told the dragon that why have you got an entire army to help you, the dragon was stupid. He was not intelligent, so he looked behind. Now, as he looked behind, Ivan took out his sword and cut the dragon's neck, and the dragon died on spot. So, from this story, we come to know that intelligence is always greater than strength. No matter how much strength you have, intelligence always wins. I hope that you have understood the story. Thank you, children. Have a nice day. Bye.